Hello and welcome back to the first episode of this week's watch for 2024. I truly hope you all had a wonderful Christmas and New Year. I know I certainly did. It's been a very nice break, although my daughter has been definitely a bit of a pain. She's been in one of those regressions. Anyone who has kids know exactly what I'm talking about, but we're back. And this video is going to go live Saturday the 6th, and I'm officially back in the office, although obviously I'm here now, but I'm officially back in holding appointments and continuing business as normal on 8th of January. Now, I thought I would start this year's drop with something incredible, obviously some really great pieces and great diversity, but much smaller, only 8 pieces this drop. Definitely more manageable than towards the end of last year, 2023. The last drop I think was 17 pieces, which is insane. That's just far too many. But obviously getting as many in before Christmas was the goal. And we certainly did that, so thank you all very, very much. But this week, 8 incredible watches from a Zenith Daytona to a vintage Datejust to a Mine Hudson or Maine, however you say it, a beautiful Grand Seiko, everything in between as well. Some really great pieces that I know you guys and girls are going to enjoy. Now, there's going to be a lot of watches in repair, hopefully coming back soon. As a lot of you know, over the Christmas, New Year's period, watchmakers stop working, as do a lot of places. So there is always a bit of a delay in getting things back. But I'm excited for what's coming. There's some great pieces coming this year, some good plans in place as well. But as always, who knows what the year is going to hold. And if it's anything like last year, it's going to be incredible. So thank you all very much for how last year ended. Even over the Christmas, New Year period, the amount of orders I got just while sat at home enjoying family time was incredible. Straight from the website or people messaging directly, and I was doing a bit of work here and there. So thank you all very, very much. It's greatly appreciated, especially over what is usually a very quiet time. Okay, now that's a lot of rambling. I apologize. Before we get on to the watches on the table, what's on wrist? I'm wearing a watch that may be entering the personal collection soon. It's a gorgeous modern Longines, surprisingly. I've not been excited about a modern watch in a long time. When this watch was announced, I fell in love. It's part of the Master Collection. It's 38.5mm. It's the sub-seconds. This is the anthracite grey dial with these beautiful lasered, they look like hand engraved Arabic numerals. I'm just in love with this watch, and I swapped the strap for a pigskin that Strap Tailor made for me many years ago now, actually, I think, and I think it suits the watch perfectly. Let me know down in the comments what you think of this watch, and if you'd like to see a review. I've not done a review in a long time, typically because I sell watches. A review of a watch can often come across but people assume there will be motive there. Even though there isn't, I just try and avoid it altogether. But if you are interested in seeing my thoughts and opinions in a more formal review setting of this watch, let me know down in the comments. Okay, now that all of that is out of the way, let's crack on with what you're here to see today, and that is the watches on the table. We're going to start, obviously, with this gorgeous 1998 Rolex Zenith Daytona 40mm white dial, a gorgeous watch, a grail for a lot of people, and you can really see why. So let's take a closer look at this one. So starting off this week, or this year I should say, with an incredible Rolex Daytona. This isn't just any white dial steel bezel Daytona. This is the Zenith Daytona, meaning inside here is a Zenith El Primero. So this is the reference 16520, and inside is an automatic Zenith caliber 4030, a gorgeous watch that obviously is not on display as you'd expect with Rolex. But take my word for it, it is a very, very nice movement. And there's a few aesthetic differences between this and the standard steel bezel Daytona, sorry, not Zenith Daytona. You have the subdial difference, so this is black, beautiful red on the text. And the main difference, or at least for me the main difference, aesthetic difference, is the subdials are aligned. Now, when I point this out, you may not be able to unsee it on the other models. Now, for some people, it really doesn't matter. But to me, once I first saw this difference, I was quite shocked. So if you look at a standard Zenith Daytona, the subdial at 9 and 3 are seated above the 3 and 9 marker, so they're not actually perfectly symmetrical if you draw a cross on the dial, whereas the Zenith Daytona, as you can clearly see, those subdials are lined up. A very minor thing, but again, aesthetically to me it makes that little bit of a difference and makes this a more desirable model. Now this one's from circa 1998. It unfortunately doesn't come with any box or paperwork, but it does come with a Rolex service box and Rolex service card from 2022. Now they haven't replaced the hands or the dial, thankfully. So you still have the beautiful original tritium proudly on there, as it is a later tritium model just before they've completely phased out. So you can still see that there. The bracelet is also the original with its brushed and polished finish. Obviously a bit of play as you'd come to expect from a watch of this age that has been worn, but a really lovely example nonetheless. Still nice strong lugs as well, and strong case overall. Nice bezel. Just a beautiful watch, and it's very easy to see why this is a hugely desirable piece just in general, but also a lot of people's grail watch. So let's show this one on wrist and talk dimensions. And here we go. Sized on my 7-inch wrist, you can see it wears beautifully, and a lot of people are quite surprised by how much smaller a Daytona wears on wrist than they'd think, because the dimensions are 40mm, but it wears a lot smaller than 40mm in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinion. This is 40mm by 46mm lug to lug, 12mm on the thickness and 20mm on the lug. So as always, endless options, but I do prefer it on the bracelet personally. So go check out this beauty on the website today and book an appointment to come see it in person if you so wish. From that Rolex, let's go over to a potential birth year again for someone. This is a 1991 Rolex Date, just 36mm with a silver Roman dial, reference 16234. Beautiful watch. Let's take a closer look. From a Zenith Daytona to a beautiful Rolex Date, just with the white gold fluted bezel and a nice silver white creamy color. It's not quite like this perfect silver. It's got this slight hue to it, which is gorgeous and very hard to capture, so you've got to see in person. But Roman stick dial on this one. So this is the reference 16234 from circa 1991. Now looking at those dial and hands, if you are well versed in Rolexes, you'll know they are slightly later service dial and hands. So these are not tritium as it would be in 1991. These are luminova. So that is a great thing for people who are worried about tritium and those kind of things. That I have a few customers like that. If you're one of those, this is a great option because you can get a 1991 Datejust, which is more affordable and just, you know, maybe a birth year, but you haven't got the worries of tritium, and you've also got the realities of it still being functional glow-wise, which obviously tritium would not be. So, you know, it's one of those. It doesn't bother me personally, and I think it really looks beautiful. As I say, original white gold fluted bezel, screw-down crown at 3 o'clock, and it comes paired on its original Jubilee Rolex bracelet, which, you know, as you'd expect, it is worn. It has got some signs of wear, but nothing major at all. And again, a really strong case and condition for 1991. So for those of you birth year watch hunters out there, this would be a great option. Inside the automatic Rolex caliber 3135 as well. So let's show this beauty on wrist and talk dimensions. And here we go on my 7-inch wrist. If you've ever tried on a 36mm Datejust, you know exactly what you're getting into. It is a perfect watch on the wrist, and it's a go-to size for a lot of people, and I think it's becoming more and more popular again as time goes on. So this is 36mm by 43mm lug to lug, only 11.5mm on the thickness and 20mm on the lugs, with drilled lug holes to make strap changing super easy. And something to say about this reference, the 16234, it features a sapphire crystal as well, so no Hesalite here, so no worries about scratching, unless you obviously whack the watch so insanely hard that you get a scratch. But yes, go check out this beautiful watch on the website today. Now from there to a modern Grand Seiko that I absolutely love. I think this dial is so beautiful. Grand Seiko are known for their dials, but this one really stands out to me. This is the Grand Seiko Heritage Spring Drive Shunbun Pink. The SBGA 413. Let's take a closer look. So this Grand Seiko reference has quickly become a favorite of mine. This is a beautiful spring drive in titanium Shunbun, and I apologize if I'm butchering that pronunciation, Shunbun Pink. Now, for those of you out there who are terrified of pink for whatever reason, don't be alarmed. It is very subtle, the pink. It's more like a very faint blossom, which is absolutely gorgeous and suits the design and the dial perfectly, which is incredibly difficult to capture, but as I move around you can hopefully see some of those textures and tones, which are incredible and beautiful, and it matches with that sort of darker tone of titanium perfectly, in my opinion. So this is the reference SBGA 413, and inside is a Grand Seiko Spring Drive caliber 9R65, which can be viewed through the exhibition caseback right there, as you can see. For those of you that are not familiar with spring drive technology, I would highly recommend heading over to Grand Seiko's website and giving it a read. Some great articles out there as well. I will not do it justice trying to explain how it works, because the reality is I don't completely understand how it works, because it is incredible technology that's far beyond my comprehension. So back to this. This is from April 2022 with its box and paperwork, all of its links, and it is worn, but it's very fair, to be honest. You know, if you were picking this watch up at the price compared to retail that we've got it at, I think you'll be more than happy with this. So that's enough of the rambling. Let's show it on wrist and talk dimensions. And here we go, comfortably on my 7-inch wrist. As you can see, a gorgeous proportion and design, and this case shape, in my opinion, is perfect. You've got the perfect lines of brushed and polish, which is obviously Zaratsu finished by Grand Seiko. They do this high standard of polish, which I gotta be honest, I haven't seen any other brands really get it this good at this price point especially. So this is 40mm by 46.5mm lug to lug, 12.5mm on the thickness, and 21mm on the lug, so a little awkward, but there are drilled lug holes to make strap changing nice and easy. So go check out this beauty on the website today. From there over to a gorgeous Heuer. This is a Tag Heuer Carrera re-edition 36mm white dial. A lot of you will be familiar with this watch. I've sold a few of them over the years. This is the CS3110, but what makes this one so special is it's from 1997 and it's box, paperwork, and Tag Heuer service. It's got the whole lot. So let's take a closer look at this one. So I've said it in the past when I've had this reference, and I'll say it again. This, in my opinion, is one of the best modern, or at least now neo-vintage, re-editions of the Tag Heuer, of the Heuer Carrera, that Tag Heuer have done in a long time. This is perfect. This is the reference CS3110, and it's 36mm. Obviously, we'll talk about the size later on, but it features this beautiful silver dial with blue, and this is an earlier reference with a tritium dial, so it still has the tritium markers. Now the hands are service replacement hands, so these are Luminova, but the original tritium hands are included in the service pouch by Tag Heuer. Thank God they do that, and other brands, Rolex obviously don't, but brands like Tag Heuer, Omega, and so on, any parts they replace, they put in a bag and they send it back to you, because at the end of the day, it is yours. So you have the tritium markation above Swiss, above 6 on the subdial, which again, very reminiscent of those vintage Carreras. Really beautiful attention to detail. Heuer signed crown, Heuer signed buckle, simple signed case back as you'd expect as well. And again, where it gets even better, inside is a manually wound Lemania 1873, which is very similar to what would have been used originally, and also what is used across the earlier Speedmasters as well, a Lemania base. So a very cool movement, and it feels lovely when you start, stop, and reset. It really does look like a vintage watch from afar. It comes on a black rally style strap. I would put it on a brown personally as well. I think it looks incredible. And it's from January 1997, so a potential birth year for someone out there. And it comes with box and papers and a Tag Heuer service as well. So you really cannot get better than this. I've not had a more complete set of this reference myself. So let's show this beauty on wrist and talk dimensions. And there we go, comfortably on my 7-inch wrist. You can see it just wears beautifully at 36mm, as you'd expect, or come to expect in my opinion, from a Heuer Carrera. This is 36mm by 44mm lug to lug, 12.5mm on the thickness, and something to keep in mind, that is a Hesselite crystal, so plastic, just like the original would have been. It helps with the sort of vintage aesthetic, in my opinion, really draws you in, and 18mm on the lug, so nice and easy with endless options. So go check out this beauty on the website today. From there over to another chronograph that is very, very sought after by a lot of people, and you'll see exactly why when we take a closer look. That's this 90s IWC Fleer Chronograph with the quartz JLC caliber inside. Let's take a closer look at this. Now onto an IWC Fleer Chronograph 36mm quartz. Yes, you heard that right, but IWC didn't just throw in any old quartz movement. Of course not. They threw in a JLC caliber 630, which is a mecha quartz movement. So when you start the chronograph, it almost appears mechanical, and it flies back to reset just like a mechanical chronograph does. A gorgeous, gorgeous watch, a gorgeous movement by JLC. You really cannot get better than that. So this is the reference IW3741, a reference that a lot of collectors go crazy over because, again, quartz chronograph 36mm, there just isn't many like this. This one's circa 1990s and still features its original tritium dial and tritium hands which are beautiful and aging really, really nicely. It's exactly what you'd want. Original fish symbol signed crown and original signed case back. Doesn't come with any box or paperwork, and it is paired on a very nice gecko to leather strap which suits the watch perfectly, and the case is well worn and used but nothing too drastic, and at the end of the day a polish would make it look just as good as new again if you wish. But to be honest, personally, especially with the tones of the tritium, I like some wear on the case. I think it adds to the charm and the character of the watch, but that's just me personally. You get to make that choice. And don't forget, all the watches we have are you are able to view at our office by appointment only. So if you want to come and view this watch, send us an email, let's get you booked in and you can see it for yourself. But let's show it on wrist and talk dimensions. And here we go, on my 7-inch wrist. You come to expect perfection really at 36mm. It's a really interesting size that I think a lot of people are realizing it is so comfortable. Now, yes, you can go smaller, yes, you can go bigger, there's exceptions as always, but 36 is such a sweet spot. I think more people need to pay attention. So this is 36mm by 44mm lug to lug, only 10mm thick and 18mm on the lug. So endless option if for whatever reason you're not a fan of this simple but beautiful strap pairing, you can change it up yourself. So go check out this watch on the website today. From there over to a 2022 Tudor Black Bay 58 bronze boutique. I do have another one of these on the website, which is more money. That one is pretty much unworn. This one is worn. It has developed more patina, but it's still very, very good and priced incredibly fair. So let's take a closer look at this. Now for a Tudor Black Bay bronze, this is the boutique brown edition, as you can see, part of the 58 family. So the smaller 39mm, sorry, case size, which is perfect for a lot of people. But for me, the real beautiful thing about this watch is that brown on the bezel and the brown dial with the 369 Explorer and obviously the snowflake hands. I feel like this is a beautiful design and really works, and I really hope they do this in stainless steel one day, because I think that'd just be absolutely epic. Let me know down in the comments what you think. Now, as I say, this is the boutique bronze edition, so the case and the bracelet are all bronze, and bronze patinas and oxidizes and develops this nice, interesting, warmer tone. So if you ever get to see this watch brand new from the factory, it's almost like a yellow gold, and what happens over time is it creates this sort of dual down effect where the metal basically reacts to oxygen and it oxygenates, as you can see. And you can clean this up with different sort of you can get cloths. You can also do different formulas with like egg yolks and different things, and you know, bring it back to a shine. Personally, I like to leave them as they are because it will eventually get back to this kind of state down the road. So that's something just to keep in mind for you people out there who don't know about bronze. I've had it before, believe it or not. People have bought bronze watches, and then a month or two down the road, they've sent me a message going, hey, my watch doesn't look quite the same as it did when I bought it. So I've got to make it clear, bronze oxidizes, it patinas. This is normal. This is what happens. So this is the reference 79012M, and this one's from October 2022. It is in worn condition, but overall very, very good, just with the patina, as you'd expect. And it does come with its full box and paperwork, spare links, etc. as well. Signed case back and inside an automatic Tudor caliber MT5400. So let's show this beauty on wrist and talk dimensions. And here we go on my 7-inch wrist, incredibly comfortable and a perfect size as well. And bronze has a slight heft to it compared to stainless steel, which is really nice as well. So this is 39mm by 47.5mm lug to lug, 11.5mm on the thickness and 20mm on the lugs. It does come with an additional NATO strap in the box as well. So go check out this beauty on the website today. And the final Tudor on the table, this is a 2017 Tudor Black Bay 36mm automatic on the bracelet. This is a very special watch to me personally. It was one of my first true like expensive watches I spent a lot of money on myself. This isn't the exact one that was mine, but it's the exact reference. I think it's a great watch. So let's take a closer look at this. Now for a Tudor Black Bay 36 black, classic design and style, as you can see. And as I mentioned in the intro, this is a watch that I truly loved and enjoyed for the time I had it. I really wanted an Explorer 1. I got this instead, and I think that was my downfall, really. You know, I was going into it expecting this to tick all my boxes of owning an Explorer 1, when in reality I needed to own the Explorer 1 to do that. But this, as its own right, is a beautiful watch, and it works so, so well. Simple design with the snowflake hands, no bezel, as you can see, and 36mm in size. screw down crown at 3 o'clock, nice polished bezel, and this is the reference 79500, and it's from April 2017 with its box paperwork and additional NATO strap as well. As you can see, it comes paired on its original bracelet, has been worn and used and enjoyed, as it should be. You know, at the end of the day, it's a pre-owned watch, but we can have it polished for you on request if you so wish, an additional cost and time frame to delivery. So just let me know if you'd like that done. Inside is an automatic Tudor caliber T600, which is essentially an ETA, so serviceability for the future is nice and easy as well. You really can't go wrong with a watch like this. If you're after a classic 36mm watch that you can truly go anywhere and do anything in, this is the one to get. You know, you throw this on a nice black leather strap, it's going to look great as well. So let's show this one on wrist and talk dimensions. And here we go on my 7-inch wrist. Again, 36mm. As I've had quite a few 36mm in this episode, and you know what? I'm going to have more this year because they are perfect. So this is 36mm by 44mm lug to lug, only 10mm on the thickness and 19mm on the lug, so a little awkward, but there are options out there. So go check out this beauty on the website today. And last but by no means least, a Mayen, I don't know how you pronounce the name, so I apologise, Hudson 38 GMT Automatic. This has to be, in my opinion, one of the best built and incredible designs. Under £500 you can pick up pre-owned for a GMT out there. I really cannot find better, and this is one that was part of the personal collection, moving a couple of things on maybe to make way for this, but you know how it goes. So let's take a closer look at this final watch. Now on to the main Hudson, or Mayen. Again, I apologise for the butchering of the pronunciation. This is the Hudson GMT Automatic. And I am probably going to really regret selling this one, as it is one from the personal collection. Really beautiful faded red and black bezel, as you can see, to almost a maroony colour. It's really nicely done, vibrant yellow on the GMT hand, and just this nice black texture to the dial as well. Everything about it is done to another level, in my opinion, for the price point. Screw down crown, rotating bezel, as you can see. Nice 5-link bracelet with polished in the center, but not completely polished, which again is quite nice. A nice industrial sort of heavy built clasp with micro adjustments, and a nice signed screw down case back. So this is the reference AGM.03, and inside is an automatic Soprod caliber C125. We're seeing a lot more of Soprod. It's another brand like ETA, like Sellita, that make really great high quality movements, and Soprod are coming in a bit more affordable as well, allowing brands like this brand to do what they're doing at this price point. This one's from 2023 with its box and paperwork and its spare links as well. So before I change my mind, let's show this one on wrist and talk dimensions. And there we go, comfortably paired on my 7-inch wrist. This is one of those watches where you know, you put it on and it feels so much more expensive and looks so much more expensive than what it is, and it's the kind of thing where I'm selling it and I'm wondering why, because at this kind of price point you can't really get better. But anyway, 38mm by 46mm lug to lug, 12mm on the thickness and 20mm on the lug, so endless options. But to be honest, the entire time I had it, I wore it on the bracelet, and it's incredibly comfortable. So go check it out on the website today. So there you have it, guys and girls. 8 incredible watches on the table today, really varying in price from £500 all the way up to 20+ thousand pounds. And there's something in between that everyone will be more than happy with, no doubt. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. Let me know down in the comments what was your favorite from this week. I think for a lot of you it will be the Zenith Daytona, but I'm intrigued to see if there's any oddballs in there. So thank you all very much for watching, and we'll see you all again next Saturday for hopefully another manageable, smaller drop. I think this may be the theme, but who knows, as the year goes on I may end up getting back up to 12 a drop, so let's see. All right, take care, see you soon.